Hi, and welcome to CHEEMA CONNECT. My name is Jamie Phillip, and we have a very special episode for you today. As you'll notice, we're here at our Sumner, Washington terminal location, preparing for a very significant transition. We are moving to Pacific Washington. And since we're preparing to do that, I figured what better time to take you on a farewell tour of the Sumner, Washington location. So why don't you follow me? As you can see, we're busy boxing things up, taking all the decorations off the wall. I got some friends I want to visit today, so let's go in and see Human Resources. Hey, Mrs. Harmon Kay.
Hi, Jamie.
How are you doing?
How are you? Good.
You're on CHEEMA CONNECT.
I am.
Welcome to the program.
Finally.
So lovely to have you with us.
Thank you.
We got some questions for you, but let's start by getting to know you a little bit.
Okay.
You are a not so recent mom. You've got a
Yeah.
handsome young baby boy. Tell us a little bit about mom life.
Mom life is busy, definitely busier than Chima life is what I have understood so far. But our son is almost 2 and he keeps Harmon and I both busy. So he's great.
He's a well photographed young man.
Yes, he is.
Harmon recently shared a picture of him in front of one of our brand new trucks, which hopefully we can show in the video here. If they can pipe it in, it would be beautiful. That guy loves trucks.
Yes, he does. He loves his beep beeps.
Yes, he does make that beep beep, and we love it. So this is my first episode without Harmon as my co-host.
Yes.
So I have a lot of opportunity. I miss you, buddy, by the way. Hope you're doing well. But this is a great opportunity for me to get some dirt on the guy, right? And who better to dish than Mrs. Harmon Chima? So let me get to the brass tacks. What's it like being married to Harmon?
It's great. I love being married to Harmon because he does keep us on our toes all the time. He's a very busy man, but he always makes time for his family.
That's right.
So I appreciate that.
He knows his priorities.
Yes, he does.
Does the guy ever really sleep?
He
I
might.
mean, there's a rumor going around. I might have started it. Some of us think he might actually be a robot.
Yeah,
Like-
I believe that. I don't know how he does it all, but he does.
Yeah.
So
He's an amazing man, and hats
he's
off.
one of a kind for sure.
Well, we have some business to get to. You mentioned to me earlier this week that we have a great benefit that maybe not all of our employees, driving associates, office associates alike, might not know about, and this is a great place to tell them about it. Why don't you tell us about that benefit?
So I wanted to talk specifically today about a huge benefit that our drivers and office personnel alike may be missing out on. So if you are on our HSA account or HSA plan, we have an HSA account that you can sign up for. And that HSA account essentially is a savings account that you can contribute pre-tax dollars. So say if you want to contribute $25 a month towards your HSA, we would take it as a payroll deduction and then put it into your account once a month. And then so essentially you could have 25, 50, whatever bucks for you to use on medical related expenses. So that is pre-tax. So gives you a little bit of savings there.
Goes farther that way, yeah.
Yeah, it goes farther that way. And then you actually don't have to contribute anything at this point because Chima contributes $50 a month into your account every month. So essentially, you could be missing out on $600 worth of free money.
That for medical expenses on an annual level,
medical
right?
expenses, yes.
But only if you're enrolled in that account,
Yes,
right?
only if you're enrolled in the HSA plan and you are signed up for the account. So
Well, that sounds pretty sweet.
yeah.
So let me ask some questions then. So is this only for the employee?
So if you are on a HSA plan with your family, it would be an health savings account that can work for the rest of your family as well. So you could use those pre-tax dollars on your whole family's medical expenses.
So it's medical expenses that they can contribute pre-tax dollars to. Chima would also contribute $50 a month, $600 a year, and that money can be used. And they give you a card, right?
Yes,
you actually
get
use
a debit
card
that you could use for those expenses,
Right.
and those could be like anything like doctor's visits, prescriptions, those kind of things.
So they can either choose to contribute or not to contribit, but if they enroll, they get the $50 a month
Yes.
regardless from Chima Freight
Yes.
Lines. That's the benefit.
All you have to do is sign up. It's a free benefit, and if additionally you do want to contribute, that would just be even more helpful for you. And The funds at the end of the year do not go away. They just roll over to the next year. Unlike flexible spending accounts, it's a use it or lose it benefit, but not for HSA accounts. They roll over to the next year.
Let it roll.
Yeah.
Let it roll.
And how do you sign up? Okay, so to sign up, you have to fill out a form. That's probably the biggest downside of it all, but you can talk to driver services or you can talk to my HR team and we can get that form over to you to fill out.
So prerequisite number one, you have to be on the HSA plan because there's a couple different benefits plans that we make available to you, the PPO, the HSA. But if you go the HSA route, this HSA account you can contribute towards. So that's the first thing. The second thing is you have to fill out the enrollment form.
You have to fill out the enrollment form, which includes information on how you want to get paid, through debit card, through check, those kind of things. So those are really important things, and you want to make sure that you turn those in to only our team here, driver services, HR, so we can securely get that set up for you.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
It's another great thing that we do here at CHEEMA Freight Lines. Well, that's wonderful. Thank you, CHEEMA Freight Lines.
Yeah, so everybody, please sign up because I feel like a lot of people are missing out on this. So
free money.
Yeah.
Free money. Did you know we match today?
Yeah, we do.
Twins. All right. Well, thanks for giving us some of your time and informing our team of that great benefit. I'll see you later. All right, let's continue our tour. So when Carmen's away, I can pretend to be a CEO. Book it, book it, book it. Increase those rates. Buy more trucks. Let's go, operations. I can do it. It's not that hard. This is a place I like to hang out, have deep thoughts. And I want to say goodbye to my favorite coffee machine. Goodbye, coffee machine. Goodbye, Nespresso machine. Oh, wait. That's right. You guys are going with us. All right. Hey, Spencer, want to say hi? You're on CHEEMA Connect.
What?
That's right.
Yeah.
We're just doing a little last pass through the Sumner terminal and giving everybody a chance to say hi and see what it used to be like so we can have kind of a time capsule. How's the packing coming along?
Oh, that's great. I'll definitely get everything in that box.
Oh, yeah? Any special shout outs you want to throw out there on the episode?
To my wife, I love you.
Oh, so sweet. My wife, I love you too. My wife, just like that. We good? All right, follow me along. Here's our ops floor. Holly, Nikki. How's it going over here? Oh, yes. This is all our customer service team. All right, bye, customer service. I don't know what's going on in here. The rest of customer service. Hi, everybody. All right, bye. Let's head over to the other building, shall we? Ah, yeah, the shop building where orientation happens and our good old Sumner Driver's Lounge. Great place to relax, watch streaming television, scan in some paperwork. Oh, by the way, Mr. Transflow Kiosk, you're coming too. Brew a pot of coffee, heat something up, put some water, refreshed, and back after it. All right, let's head upstairs. Safety is that away. Hello, brokerage friends. How's everybody doing? You guys making money?
Yes, sir.
Keep that up.
Great. How are you doing?
Good stuff. Evidence. They're making money. Safety. Here we. And there he is, Scott Grafe.
Keep up the good work. Talk to you next time.
And now it's time for Safety Corner with Scott Grafe. Scott, how you doing today?
I'm getting by, Jamie.
Scott, I hope you know, I really appreciate making time for us every time we do a CHEEMA Connect episode to inform our team of some of the best safe driving practices that are out there. I know you got a message for our team today. Why don't you share that with us?
Well, I want to talk a little bit about security because it's something, driver safety, equipment safety is certainly something we want to keep under control, and the things drivers can do, they can park in secure areas. CHEEMA terminals and yards would be the first choice, if that's a
Always
option.
the first choice, yeah.
And then non-secure places are places like stores or parking lots, mall parking lots on the side of a street, wide spots on roads, freeway on-off ramps. Those will be in examples of non-secure places. So what can you do to keep yourself safe and your freight safe? First, you want to understand the problem. understand that most cargo theft happens on weekends. And right behind that, Mondays and Fridays are big days for thieves. Another big draw for thieves, unattended trucks. You're gonna go home for holidays, say. Your truck's sitting somewhere, thieves drive by, they see a truck, they drive by the next day, there's that same truck. Now they're thinking that truck's unattended, that's a target at
Yeah.
that point. So they're, on average, this is an average number, 24 cargo thefts are reported a day. That's what's reported to police. Most often targeted cargo, food and drinks, those kinds of items. For us, Gatorade, that's our number one most stolen product.
Weird.
So you want to park in secure areas, park where it is well lit, stay hooked to your trailer if you can. Lock your trailer doors with a quality lock. Something that simple, you keeps these away, back your trailer up against a fixed object, a tree, a building. Don't hit it, just get up against it. The goal, make your trailer difficult to get into. They're gonna move on to another trailer that's easy. 'Cause that's what thieves, they don't like difficult. Don't discuss what you're hauling. If you experience a break-in, call the police. Report to the company, take pictures. Don't leave that area until you're instructed to do so. Take pictures of the inside of the trailer, what it's like, any broken in, damaged products. Get a copy of that seal, grab that seal if you can find it, hang on to it. You'll be instructed what to do with it. It's often a point of interest with customers. And along with security, if your seal's removed, I think I just covered that, I don't need to cover it again. Cargo theft is expensive to the tune of $30 billion a year right now. In addition to freight claims, somebody's got to pay for that freight. It's either going to be CHEEMA or it's going to be the customer eats it. Usually it's us. They'll deduct money from what they're paying us. So if the load paid $1,000, then some companies, they just say, we're taking 500 of that. Too bad for you. They don't care. If you're unsure about what to do, you're out there, you see something suspicious, you don't know, ask questions. Get on the phone with dispatch, call safety. We don't want anybody at CHEEMA to become a victim of cargo theft and get on the statistics. We don't want that for our drivers. So I had that, and then load securement, the other item that's kind of in hand with security.
Absolutely.
We want you to pay attention. When you get a load assignment, there's instructions at the bottom. Pay attention to those instructions. If it tells you put a load strap in there, you're going to need load locks, then do that. That is there to help you get, and CHEEMA, get that freight where it needs to be successfully. When freight shifts, bad things happen. Rollovers sometimes happen. There's no warning when that goes down. You're just tooling along, freight shifts, over you go. It's that quick. It can cause you to be overweight. We've had that. Hard brakes. Freight moves forward. Guy's 38,000 pounds on his drive. That's a problem. If you see your trailer leaning to one side, get on the phone. That's a dangerous situation. And both overweight and leaning trailers get the attention of law enforcement. And we just don't want you to be that driver. And scale your loads whenever you pick them up. Those simple things will keep you, the driver, out of trouble.
Fantastic. That's a lot of stuff there. So we're talking about keeping the product safe, parking in secure areas to avoid risk of cargo theft, break-ins, damage, etc. Talked about load securement, talked about trailer seal integrity. We talked about securing the loads, looking at special instructions from the customers, because those are from the customers to us to follow. That's how they want their freight transported. That's why they want it loaded and secured. For drivers that aren't aware, we usually have a surplus of load locks and straps at our terminal shops. So if you need some, pick up some when you pass through the terminals. I think that covers most of it, but fantastic message for our team. Anything else you'd like to add? Are you excited about the terminal move coming up?
I am excited about the terminal move coming out. We get out of, we're just gonna move over there, have more room. I think drivers will like it, better facilities and showers if they don't know that. There are gonna be showers for the drivers. That should be a big selling point right there.
Yep. So a couple of things I'm excited about. Number one, the showers is a biggie. Number two, the new terminal is right off of the freeway. I love this location, but it's a little bit hard to navigate to. We got this beautiful tree line landscape behind us, but we'll be much closer to the freeway, which is better access for big rigs in and out. And no train. I know some of you guys are gonna miss that train at 2 in the morning, but you're gonna have to say farewell to that as well. We're heading to Pacific Washington. All right, well, thank you so much, Scott.
You're welcome, sir.
Let you get back to work.
Carry on.
From safety, we cross through brokerage, over to our orientation and training room. Well, hello, friends. Hello, TG.
Hey.
Hello, Rob. Hello, Jeff.
Jamie.
Welcome to the training room. We're going to sit down. I want to
Yeah.
introduce you to one of my friends. This is Rob Newell. Rob, say hi
guys.
to CHEEMA CONNECT.
How's everybody? Glad to be here
Rob,
with Jamie.
one of our newest CHEEMA mates,
I love it.
CHEEMA teammates. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Help us get to know Rob Newell a little bit.
So I just started about a month ago, July 11th, as VP of Driver Services. And first of all, I want to say Jamie's the man right here.
I did not pay him to say that.
A tremendous job supporting our whole recruiting, onboarding effort, and supporting our drivers. So
Thank you.
I've been in the industry about 30 years. I'm not going to go through all that. There's a lot there. You can go to my LinkedIn page, Rob Newell, and get a quick some information on my history. So about half of that is operations and running trucks, helping get trucks down the road, new business and all that. And the other second half of my career has been specifically in what I call capacity development, driver recruiting, driver retention. Worked a lot with owner operators. So it's all about what's the best way we can recruit, how do we market, and then the biggest question of all, the biggest challenge of all is how do we keep the folks that we have, right?
Yeah.
So
Good
that's
stuff.
my interest.
And we're going to tackle that. We're going to
Right.
that's really your wheelhouse and specialty, what you bring to the table.
Right.
And we're excited to dive deeper into that. But I want to get to
So-
know Rob, not just the professional. Like you said, go check out his LinkedIn. You can see his resume.
Yeah.
Work experience is there. I want to know about Rob the man. Talk about interests. You got a sports team. You got hobbies and recreational activities you like to spend time doing.
So yeah, I grew up from a Midwest guy. Grew up in Indiana. Spent the last 20 plus years in Texas, North Texas area. I like to play golf. I hunt and fish. And sports-wise, I'm not a huge sports guy, but I keep up with the NFL. Cowboys. I lived there so long, right? It's hard to be a Cowboys fan, but
They're due. I mean,
yeah, I know.
let's be
I know.
honest.
But it's a great organization, and then so of other sports, it's probably the NFL, a little bit of MLB when it comes time to the postseason, and love to watch the World Series and so forth. So yeah, so that's about it. A lot of work. I've been kind of a workaholic.
Yeah.
So not very exciting stuff, but.
Well, how'd you get connected with CHEEMA Freight Lines in the first place? How'd you
So,
meet
that's a
Harmon?
good
How'd you get
question.
here?
Yeah, so I met Harmon back in March. We were at a conference together, and literally just kind of bumped into each other, networking, and he started telling me a little about his company and the history and where he got started and where they are now. And everything he was telling me, I was just like amazing to hear what his vision is. I was amazed because it wasn't, let's just pour in drivers and grow as fast as we can, which I've been with a couple companies that basically that's their plan, right? Is to grow as fast as we can, get drivers in faster than we're losing them. It's more of a production line, right? And less emphasis on the retention end of things. So Harmon is more like, hey, we're going to grow, and I want to grow, and we're going to, expand as a company, but we're going to do it in a way that makes sense. When we have the resources and the technology and the people in place to do it, we'll grow as we're able to absorb that growth. And I was like, holy moly,
Sure,
is
sounds
that
great.
refreshing, right?
Sounds great.
So, so that was one thing, and then just getting to know Harmon as a person was it was very obvious. Just a good guy, high integrity, very very humble, very respectful. So that was a big part of it as well. And then I, looked up Chima, did a little digging, and all I see is brand new shiny equipment, a lot of happy drivers. So it was pretty obvious that this is a great organization, and it was kind of a no-brainer when we ended up, doing a deal last month. So
Cool.
yeah.
Well, glad to have you. Well
Thank
put,
you.
well stated.
Very happy to be here.
So you've been here just a short period of time. What have you observed? So you got the conversation with Harmon, and I had a similar conversation with him, and man, I've seen trucking done a billion different ways, right? And the way you're talking about the production line is on point. But is that what you've seen in the time that you've been here? What have you observed? What makes Chima any different than any of the other carriers maybe you worked at that you've seen in action?
That's a great question. So when you walk through the operations offices, and I've visited Sumner now twice, and I've been to spend a week in Lathrop. And when you go in the office and everybody is joking and having a good time and saying good morning and going out of their way to greet people, I was like blown away, right? Instead of their head down, stressed out, wondering how they're going to get through that issue they're having because they have a million of them every day.
Yeah.
Everybody's got their world in order because we're not piling onto them constantly. There are, with people that are already at their bandwidth, right?
Yeah.
And then we just pile more and more on. They get more stressed, more frustrated, and then it starts flowing out to the drivers,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Here it's like we average 35-ish per driver manager, manageable, good relationships. You can tell by watching them work, by listening to them speak with their drivers. Everybody's just kind of calm, cool, and collected. And that flows out to the drivers,
Yeah.
right? So that's what we want. We want the drivers to understand that we're in control. We like what we're doing inside the walls, and so that flows out and ensures a good experience for all those drivers out there outside the walls that are generating every dime of revenue we get, right? So.
Well, I want to circle back to something you brought up early, and that is driver retention. So driver retention obviously is a super huge challenge in the transportation industry as a whole. What are some things, whether they're like focus objectives, that you've seen implemented that have really aided in that effort, retaining drivers?
Well, one is listening to drivers. Okay. We think we know what drivers want or need, right? But you need to know that, and the only people that know that are they themselves, right? So I think listening to them. I think just the culture of respect and listening. I mean, when I say listening, I mean they heard us and we responded, right? So there's an issue came up. Hey, I'll get back to you on that. And we actually get back to them, right, in a timely manner. So that's huge in itself. So we have an environment of trust and respect. And then behind that, what do these guys need to help be successful, whether it's professionally or for their family, with good benefits, with good pay, good reliable equipment that we know is going to do them right out there. That's their tool, right? They've got to have good equipment to operate and get their miles in. So, and then we're always looking for, through feedback and some of my past experience in yours, what else could we be doing in the way of programs, services, next year's benefit package? What are the things we can do that make sense from a business standpoint? And let's keep pushing that and keep bringing things to the table in the way of literally driver services, right? And then it's it's about communication. Operationally, we've got to do a good job. And from what I'm seeing, CHEEMA does it. I'm always one, prove it, show it to me. And so far, I'm seeing it, which is the whole planning piece, right? Keep them rolling. One of my mentors and dear friend, Dan Baker, is well known through the industry, used to say, get them rolling, get them home, and get them paid, right? Yeah. So come into work, what do you want to do? You don't want to be sitting around your truck waiting, right? You want to go get down the road, make good money, and get home, right, and see your family. So we do have good pay. We do a good job operationally. We can always do better, right? And we're working on that. So, and then we're getting them home to their family, right? So what's more important? So pre-planning, right? Let's stack loads on these guys. Surely we'll have another load on them before they empty out. Maybe we can do another load on top of that. Keep challenging ourselves to keep them planned out further out into the week, so they can plan their hours, plan their trip, talk to their family about when they're going to be home a little more ahead of time, and those kinds of things. So that, operationally, you've got to do what these guys need. With what they expect to do, what we recruited them to do, we need to walk that walk. And that's the biggest piece of retention right there. Communication, mutual respect, and actually doing what we say we're going to do, and keep them moving and get them home.
So one of the things you mentioned was listening, and we've been promoting a feedback tool that we use here at CHEEMA called Word Count. And I wanted to share, since we're talking about retention, talking about listening to drivers, and making sure their voice is heard and part of the direction this company grows. So word count is a texting tool that we use to gather feedback. They text in, that feedback is shared to our leadership group, and we disseminate who belongs that, who owns that, who's going to run with that, what do we need to do here and there. Is this a one-off experience or is this a consensus? Let's assign and allocate resources accordingly. So here's some of the feedback we've gotten this past week that I thought would be worth bringing to the table today. And one of those was just brought up pre-planning. We do operationally a very good job.
Yes, we
I've
do.
experienced it firsthand of planning on that next load. So when I deliver my current load, I already know what's next. So the earlier we can put that plan on them, the better for trip planning and transitioning between loads. But we do a fairly solid job of making sure they already know where they're going next. That plan has been sent, they got an opportunity to review it, commit to it, and off they go. But the conversation came up, what about planning 2 or 3 loads deep to plan not just for the next load, but plan for the week? Have you seen that done effectively in your
Not as a rule.
global experience?
Most carriers pretty good at pre-planning. I like most of them. I would like to see them do a little better. CHEEMA is phenomenal at putting the next load on our driver before they get to their destination, right? I think the ultimate challenge is to do just that, right? To get their week planned out
Yeah.
for them as much as possible. It's trucking. There's only so much you can do. Things are going to get in the way. We've got to be realistic, right?
And there's
about
factors.
Expectations, right? But if we can stack loads on our folks, it's just going to help their ability to plan,
Yeah.
right? Psychologically get into the week, what to expect, and get back to their families about, hey, it looks like I'm going to be home Saturday morning or Friday afternoon or whatever it might be. So all of that ties together.
Yeah. And there's inherent challenges to that, right? It's a little bit easier to do on the guy who's on a load for 1,400 miles, and then we just need to put another load on him, and he's planned out for the
Right.
week, right?
Short of
Versus
the
a guy
haul.
that might just run inter-California, for example, within one state's geography, and to plan that guy on 2 or 3 loads or plan him out for the week might look like a lot more loads to stack up to occupy the same 70 hours in 8 days kind of a situation.
Exactly.
So
The shorter the haul, the more opportunity for things to get in the way, whether it's a customer issue or traffic or whatever it might be, right?
Yeah.
Versus one long haul or a couple of weeks. So, yep,
Yeah.
good point.
More variables that get introduced. Another piece of feedback we got, some of our driving associates would like to see our minimum age limit for our rider pass be reduced because it had previously and up until now been 18 years of age. So you really couldn't have anybody younger than 18 years old on board as a rider. Well, guess what? That was just updated this past month. So we're happy to announce that now during summer months,
Yes.
the minimum age rider can be 12 years of age or older. So we brought that down from 18 to 12. And again, that's for summer months, non-school year time of year, riding around with mom or dad, which is great. So that's already taken place. We've got that feedback, that request, and that had already been put in motion.
So let me back up and just say I was familiar with work count and that model, and I've actually implemented something similar to that in my prior lives, and that's what we need to hear. And you said it, you took words out of my mouth. Guess what? We heard it, we looked into it, and we figured out pretty quickly we can do that. From 18 to 12 during the summer months. We've got between school, but Harmon listened. He heard it. It was kind of a no-brainer, and we did it, right?
Yep.
So how awesome is that?
Pretty awesome. I think it's
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
I do too.
Another piece of feedback we got from our work count tool was mobile communication. Most folks are using it very well. Some folks are frustrated. Not everybody is as savvy as, say, Jamie, navigating on our mobile comm. And we've had some frustrations internally too. So I will say that there is light at the end of the tunnel. We have noticed the same frustrations, and we actually have a plan to transition mobile comm early next year. I think we're aiming for Q2 of 2023.
Yeah.
So that is in the works. We want to communicate that out to the team that there will be an update. Watch for that early next year. And we're pretty excited about what that's going to look like.
Yeah, see, there's the feedback. And you made another good point. What they're frustrated with in the way of systems and processes, believe me, we are frustrated inside too, right? Because we hear it from them. We can't communicate with our drivers the way we'd like to. This new technology is going to solve all of that. And I'm not that familiar with the platform science piece, but I hear wonderful things about it. And whenever you upgrade technology, it's very noticeable because of how technology itself is growing and bringing new features to their solutions. So,
Well, two
So it's good.
enhancements I can really boast about the choice we're headed toward is an open platform, right? We have a lot of different resources that we'd like to make sure everybody has access to, and they're all available on the open platform as we can customize it. And pretty excited to make that available all on the same tablet that we do all of our communicating with and managing our ELDs with. So to us, that's a massive win. And secondly, some of the headaches that some of our users have dealt with regarding log certification specifically will go away.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and that's a big deal. So some technology frustrations will be ironed out, and look for that updates on that early next year. So a lot of good feedback coming in from our guys. A lot of
Yes.
drivers using this work count tool, and we want to demonstrate to you. That's kind of why we plug it in almost every CHEEMA Connect episode. Demonstrate that we hear it and we take action on it. We vet it, we listen to it, we merit it, and we assign it out. And so if you give us that feedback, we'll continue to work on that. But we can't do it if we don't know about it. So please
Right.
keep it coming.
Please do. Then
Yeah.
thank you for the feedback. I've seen a lot just in the short time I've been here. That's been, I was like, wow, great idea. And not only are we getting ideas from drivers, but they're going as far as to suggest solutions to those problems too. What do you always hear? Hey, this is wrong, and what are you going to do about it? Versus, hey, I've seen this here lately, but here's some ideas on how we can do this better. I'm like, wow, that's a true professional. Really impressive stuff.
Nice. Well, thanks, Rob. It's been
My
nice
pleasure.
spending a little bit of time with you.
Awesome.
We got a lot more ground to cover with this episode, so
I
we're going
know.
to get off with it.
Thank you, drivers. We appreciate you out
All
there.
right, let's head on outside. All right, I'm outside now, hanging out with one of my good buds, Jeff Allen, outside in front of one of these beautiful 2023 Peterbilt trucks. I want to introduce you, Jeff, to our followers, our viewers today. Jeff, say hi.
Hello, everyone
Tell us
in
a-
CHEEMA land.
Tell us a little about yourself.
Oh, a little bit about myself. Well, I grew up in the Midwest. I've been actually on the PNW for about a year and a half now. Last April 2021, from Omaha, Nebraska. So I didn't know anything but the plains. Did some traveling, but love it out here. Love CHEEMA Freight Lines. Love what we represent, and the drivers out there that we hire and work with us is unbelievable team. So.
Well, nice having you on the program, first of all. Did you know, CHEEMA trivia, last week you set a year-to-date high in number of total hires. You brought 9 new drivers to CHEEMA Freight Lines.
Well, that's a pretty good accomplishment here. Guys love to drive with us. Couldn't do it with all the help and great teammates that we have here. We have a wonderful team in place, and I'm just a small part of it, and we appreciate everything everybody does here, from office personnel to especially all the drivers out there that kick butt every day for us. So.
Well, I'm going to take that one step farther. Since our last episode of CHEEMA Connect, we've brought on 38 new professional driving studs and studettes. 38. Wow. You've been a busy boy.
It's been a busy couple of months. Yeah, now that's the way I love it, and I love gaining rapport and learning a lot about all the drivers that come on, and take interest in what they're interested in, and give them a great opportunity to work with the premier company on the West Coast.
So you are looking for safe driving professionals to help grow our company. What are you seeing out there? What are drivers, potential CHEEMA drivers, looking for in a carrier?
Obviously, pay's is a big thing. Home time, equipment, way we drivers are treated. A lot of positives that we all offer. They're looking for I always say it's a great place to make a good living, get good home time, and work for a great company. So
Great trucks, new
great
equipment.
trucks, absolutely.
Yeah, newer equipment means less time in the shops, less time broke down, more, we call it uptime. That's kind of a big buzzword, right? Uptime means more money-making time, utilizing more efficiently your ELD hours of service. And that way you can get out, make money, and then get home, like we had talked about earlier, having that all-important time with the family at home.
With the loved ones at home, or whomever you want to spend your time away from the truck with.
So you've had a lot of success, especially recently, recruiting and finding the driving professionals that we've been growing with. Is there a secret sauce? Like, what is the secret ingredient? Is there one?
Well, I don't think there's a secret ingredient. You know, we have a great reputation out here. You know, it obviously makes my job a lot more easier. It makes it easier with the driving community and the reputation that we have. You know, I spend a lot of time on the phone. I make a lot of calls. I take a lot of calls. It's, you know, you kind of got to live and breathe this job. So, you know, whether it's a call at midnight or a call at 4 a.m., you know, I do my best to answer every phone call that I get, and if I don't, I follow up with the call on a very prompt matter. So, yeah, you know, I like to learn about guys and learn about what they're looking for, and
there it is.
You know, make their needs match what we have here. So,
well, you're being modest, Jeff, but I'll tell you what the secret ingredient that I've observed. Now, you've been here a couple days already this week, spent some time in Sumner, Washington.
Been fantastic.
And I've overheard many of your calls this week, and I gave you this feedback already, but you are so very conversational, being a good listener, talking to what they're looking for in a carrier, maybe some of their pain points from where they're currently at, and really just not being a salesman, but just being a friend, right?
Yeah,
Do we have an
exactly.
opportunity here that might meet your needs that you're not having currently met? And in most cases, if they're the right type of a driver, the answer is yes.
Right.
And so keep up the good work,
Well,
Jeff.
that's what gives me my satisfaction,
Yep.
Jamie, is giving guys a great opportunity with a great company to come here and do well, make a good living, and enjoy what they're doing. So,
And so if we have a driver watching right now that doesn't work for CHEEMA Freight Lines quite yet, and is ready to at least have a conversation or might want to get that process started, how would he or she do that?
okay. First off, the best way would be to call my cell phone, which I just said I'm very readily available, which the phone number is 253-987-0405.
You writing this down?
Another way, again, let me say that again, 253-987-0405. And another way, if you'd like to get the ball rolling and get your application in, go to teamcheema.com, fill out a quick app. I will get back to you. Make sure it's the complete app, though. We need your signatures, consent, your full 10-year work history, and we'll get the ball rolling and get the process going and get you rolling with the premier company out on the West Coast.
Perfect. Sounds good. Well, thanks so much for spending some time with us, Jeff. Keep up
Thank
the
you.
great work. All
Love
right.
what we do here. Thank you.
Well, I'm excited to let you guys see what happens next. We actually had the pleasure of seating one of our current drivers in a brand new truck. I want to show you a little bit of how that went.
My name's Matt. I've been in trucking for 41 years almost. This is my dog Morty. He's been traveling with me for 6 years, and trucking is a way of life. 40 years, January 1982. I was an owner-operator. Before I came to CHEEMA, I was an owner-operator for 17 years. Before that, from 82 till 2004, I worked for various companies, hauled local freight, doubles, flatbeds, a lot of different kinds of stuff. CHEEMA, I came to CHEEMA September of 2015 after being an owner-operator, as I said, for 17 years. And I came here getting older, hoping to retire in the next 12 to 24 months. And so just kind of downsizing life getting easier, and actually turned out to be a pretty good time because we all know that trucking's gotten pretty crazy in the last 6 or 8 months. So the timing was good, but just trying to simplify life. I had met a CHEEMA veteran driver on the road, and because I saw the website, I heard the stuff, you know, saw things, read things about CHEEMA, but you know, there's a lot of stuff out there about companies. But I talked to a veteran driver on the road who had been here for 6 months, and he said, I have nothing bad to say about the company. And after being an owner-operator, I like calling my own shots. I like going home when I want to go home. That was the biggest thing. And obviously where I run, when I run, those kind of things. I came to CHEEMA. I kept my truck for a month, just in case it wasn't what I thought it might be. Came to CHEEMA, did orientation, hit the road, and I said, guys, I want to get home when I want to get home, and I don't like sitting around. I don't like sitting in truck stops. If I'm not home, I like to be running. And thus far, in the time that I've been here, close to a year, it's been that way. So I get home. I have to say that every time that I have asked for time off, I've gotten it. And that for me is one of the biggest things. That and we don't sit. Love the drop and hook. I hauled My last couple of years as an owner-operator, I was hauling trade shows, concerts, a lot of stuff that was pretty intensive. It was good, you know, it was specialized kind of freight, but it was also a pain in the butt. A lot of it was. And there is, you know, I love the drop and hook. I love to come in and go, and I can just keep rolling this way. And most of the freight that I have seen is very driver friendly. First truck that I had was a 22 Freightliner. The truck has been great. I haven't had any problems getting it maintenance serviced. The company jumps on it every time. It's easier than when I was an owner-operator and I'd have to sit for 3 hours in a truck stop waiting to get it serviced. So the equipment's good, but also a big thing about the equipment that I'm impressed about is, again, having so much drop and hook is the trailers, because there's nothing that we hate more than pulling into a distribution center. It's late, I've got, you know, an hour and a half left and I want to try to get another 60 miles in and I've got a bad tire or I've got a leaking wheel seal. And I have to say that the CHEEMA trailers have also been really impressive also. Be reliable. Don't get tickets, you know. I mean, just take your, I had in a safety meeting with a big company I was at least 2 years ago, the safety director said, take yourself out of the equation. We all get tired, we all get annoyed, we all have people cutting us off, and the older I get, the more I just back off and say, fine, go ahead, stay safe, and be reliable. For me, it pays off that I can tell people I'm gonna be there tomorrow afternoon, or I'll be there 2 days at 9 o'clock in the morning and I'm there at 8 o'clock in the morning in 2 days. So being reliable, you know, and not being afraid to work. Hobbies outside of trucking, I play golf, I scuba dive, I snow ski. I just don't have enough time to do my hobbies. But yeah, I am very active outside of trucking, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. Moving to Phoenix, or the Phoenix area, northeast of downtown Phoenix, and have been in Central California my whole life. And yeah, we're really excited about the move to the desert.
Well, that was awesome. What do you say? You want to go see the Pacific Terminal? Let's go. All right, thanks for tuning in to this episode of CHEEMA Connect. Hey, Harmon, where you been all day?
Well, you've been out there screwing around, emceeing around. I've been here setting the place up, right here in Pacific. Want to check it out?
Let's do it.
All right.